Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 9 p.m. English News Edition brought to you live from RTD channel. The top stories of tonight are RPP party leaders attend the inauguration of the new RPP annex in Arta region. In the Middle East, airstrikes escalate tensions across the whole region. Welcome back in our newsroom on Thursday, December 4th, 2025. The Prime Minister and Vice President of the People's Rally for Progress, RPP, Abdul Qadir Kamel Mohammed, inaugurated a new branch of the party in the city of Atta. The modern building is fully equipped with all necessary facilities. The inauguration ceremony was attended by the party's Secretary General Ilyas Musa Douale, the Minister of Energy in charge of natural resources, Yunis Ali Gedi, several government members, executive committee members, and MPs from Arta region. With its spacious layout, the new Arta branch reflects the political vision of the party president Ismail Omar Gili, as well as the efforts of the executive committee, particularly the continuous and dedicated involvement of the regional minister, including Yunis Ali Gedi. Located just a few meters from the Peace Memorial, the branch was warmly welcomed by a large number of activists and local residents, led by the Arta chief, Omar Ahmed Farah, and the seasoned statesman Almi Bouh Goudade, president of Arta Regional Council. And after the official ribbon cutting ceremony, the delegation toured the new annex, exploring its rooms, spaces, architectural details, interior design, and equipment as well. This visit allowed the Vice President and Secretary General to provide guidance on the optimal use, operation, and management of the facility. The opening is part of a broader initiative of recently established party branches, reflecting the RPP's commitment to strengthening ties, dialogue, and engagement with its wider public. This achievement is the result of a long-term effort and demonstrates the party's dedication to addressing the aspiration of the people, fostering a strong, united, and inclusive society. These facilities will serve as training and development centers for youth, spaces for reflection, exchange, and social work, and launch pads for initiatives addressing contemporary challenges, particularly technological innovation. They will promote dialogue, innovative solutions, and civic values while encouraging community mobilization and unity as well. Finally, the Prime Minister also inaugurated a football field for the Arta Club, a team composed of local youth. Let's not forget that this new branch marks a significant step in bringing the party closer to its fellow citizens. It is expected to become a hub for community engagement. Taking the floor, the Minister of Energy, Yunis Ali Gedi, a native of Arta region, emphasized that the new annex was built by the local residents. You recall that since the country's independence, Arta, particularly its capital, had never had a permanent party branch and had been forced to rent facilities. He expressed pride that from now on, the region will have a dedicated annex for the party. Finally, the minister also called on all citizens of the Arta region to support this initiative, noting that it was important for backing the party and its president. The Minister of Finance and Secretary General of RPP Party took the floor to note that the Vice President of the party will also speak to provide additional insights. He did not fail to express his gratitude to his colleague, Minister of Energy in charge of natural resources, Yonis Ali Gidi, as well as to the population of Ata region for the warm hospitality and unwavering commitment, emphasizing that is reflected the community's strong commitment to the party. The minister also paid a vibrant tribute to all those who contributed to the renovation and the reconstruction of party branches, both in Arta and in other regions of Djibouti. In turn, the vice president of RPP party, Abdul Qadir Kamil Mohammed, did not fail to express his a deep gratitude for the warm welcome they had received, and noted that the annex inspired them to make it their central headquarters. He also congratulated Minister Yonis Ali Gedi for the remarkable work accomplished, which had turned the headquarters into a true masterpiece. The Prime Minister added that the presidential elections will soon take place and emphasized that it was the duty of everyone to vote by participating fully and fulfilling their civic responsibility. He finally expressed a confidence that they were determined to support their candidate, a visionary and builder of a strong and prosperous nation. Another story now, every year from November 25th to December 10, the world mobilizes for the 16 days of activists against gender-based violence, an international campaign aimed at raising awareness, denouncing violence against women and girls, and working to end it. Like other countries, the Republic of Djibouti organized a major event on Thursday yesterday to launch this campaign. The ceremony hosted by the National Assembly with the support from the United Nations Population Fund, known as UNFPA, office in Djibouti, brought together prominent figures, including the Minister of Health, Ahmed Roble, members of Parliament, the UNFPA representative in Djibouti, Asha Ibrahim, local community leaders, youth, civil, as well as military authorities and many other guests. The launch coincided with an anti-gender-based violence march, which started in front of the National Assembly building and ended at the People's Palace. Over 3,000 participants dressed in orange and carrying banners denouncing all forms of gender-based violence took part in the demonstration. Organizers emphasized that gender-based violence is one of the most widespread human rights violations, including domestic violence, sexual assault, forced marriage, female genital mutilation, harassment, and economic or psychological abuse. For her part, the UNFPA representative in Djibouti, Asha Ibrahim, emphasized that the launch of the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence campaign represent a crucial step in raising awareness and mobilizing national effort to address all forms of violence against women and girls. She highlighted that such violence constitutes a serious human rights violation and requires close cooperation between government institutions, civil society, and youth to ensure a safe environment for all women and girls. A member of parliament who participated in the launch of the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence campaign noted that the initiative sends a clear message that combating violence against women and girls is a national priority. She emphasized that the parliament plays an important role in strengthening legislation that protects women and guarantees their rights, while also supporting a broad community effort to raise awareness and foster a culture that fully rejects all forms of violence. In turn, the Minister of Health, Dr. Ahmed Robli Abdillah, also emphasized during his participation in the launch of the event campaign that the effects of violence are not limited to the social sphere but extend to become a serious health issue affecting women and girls both physically and psychologically. He stressed that the Ministry of Health is working to strengthen medical and psychological support services for survivors, as well as supporting efforts to prevent any form of violence. Sport now, the 42nd edition of the Grand Bara Cross Country race was held today, Friday, featuring nearly 1,500 military and civilian runners from Djibouti and France, alongside a large number of African and international athletes as well. The 15 kilometers race was organized for the first time through a joint collaboration between the Djiboutian Athletics Federation and the French Forces Station in Djibouti. It has now been officially recognized by the International Association of Athletics Federations. The event began this morning at 7 a.m. Following a dramatic flyover by two fully armed Mirage 2000 fighter jets. Runners quickly set off at a fast pace, aiming to break the previous record set in 2021 in the men's category. Mohamed Ismail Ibrahim, known as Fatah, from the Djiboutian Army Forces, set a new record with a time of 42 minutes and 14 seconds, followed closely by Hussein Sugi Adan from the Republican Guard and Adan Darar from the Djiboutian Coast Guard. In the women's category, the competition was equally impressive. Zahra Mohammed Ali from the Republican Guard took the first place overall with a time of 49 minutes and 32 seconds, followed by Khadra Mohammed and Malaiko Mohammed Musa, also from the Republican Guard. Additionally, Ali Mohammed Hussein won the 7 kilometers Crystal Barra race with a time of 27 minutes and 8 seconds, while Fatuma Gabriel claimed the first place in the women's 7 kilometers race with a time of 24 minutes and 22 seconds. The race results were announced in the presence of several prominent figures, including Osman Ibrahim Roble, Minister of Budget, Hassan Mohamed Kamil, State Secretary in charge of Sport, the French Ambassador to Djibouti, Jérôme Brisson, and General Sébastien Valette, Commander of the French Forces stationed in Djibouti. The race sponsors were also present at the final line, including Olympic medalist and world marathon champion Ahmed Salah Hussein and Robi Jama, African runner-up champion in 1982. For more than 40 years, the Grand Bara cross-country race has run in a straight line across the vast arid plain from which it takes its legendary name, combining the harshness of the climate with the striking beauty of the desert. Officials present at the event, including the commander of the French forces stationed in Djibouti, Sébastien Valette, did not fail to praise the impressive participation of both local and international athletes and highlighted the race's role in promoting sportsmanship, regional cooperation, and the development of athletics in Djibouti. He also noted that events like the Grand Bara Cross Country Race serve as a platform to inspire youth, encourage healthy lifestyle, and strengthen ties between the community and sporting institution. And taking the floor, the State Secretary in charge of sport did not fail to highlight the success of the Grand Bara Cross and noted that the event had brought together participants from across the region in a spirit of unity and healthy competition. He emphasized the importance of promoting sport and physical activity among the youth, underlining that such events contribute to social cohesion and the development of a strong and dynamic community. He finally praised the organizers and volunteers for their dedication, which had ensured the smooth running of the race and the safety of all participants. Other news now, the 44th session of the Assembly of States Parties to the Rome Statute was held from December 1st to 6th, 2025 in The Hague, bringing together 125 states, parties, observers, international and regional organizations, and civil society. The main objective of the session was to discuss the key challenges facing the International Criminal Court in a complex a global context. Djibouti participated actively in the session with a delegation headed by Ambassador Adan Mohamed Dileita. We come back to the country as part of the 7th National Disability Week and the International Day of Persons with Specific Needs. The National Agency for Persons with Specific Needs organized a ceremony at the Ayla Grand Hotel to present certificates of appreciation to the year's outstanding employees. The event, which focused on excellence, inclusion, and professional recognition, highlighted the dedication, perseverance, and sense of duty of the employees who excelled at ANPH over the past year. The ceremony was attended by the Agency Director General, Mr. Douali Said Mahmoud, the Second Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, Omar Ahmed, the Director General of the National Agency for Employee Information Systems, representative of a partner institution, and ENPH officials and staff. The atmosphere was marked by respect and pride, with a series of speeches emphasizing the importance of recognizing skills and individuals' competencies, particularly in the field of disability. Still with the national news, a delegation from Djibouti's Ministry of National Education and Vocational Training, led by Duxia Ouled Duxie, traveled to Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire, on an official mission from December the 1st to 5th, 2025. This initiative was part of a project to reform and restructure the Djiboutian Institutes of Arts. The primary objectives of the mission was to benefit from the Ivorian experience in arts education with the aim of modernizing and developing this sector in the country. Several areas of focus were identified, including studying Ivorian educational models and establishing a framework for bilateral cooperation. And during the visit, the delegation conducted institutional visits, including meetings at the Ministry of Culture and the National Higher Institute of Arts and Cultural Work. They also engaged in fruitful exchanges with the art schools, which allowed them to identify best practices in governance and visitor management. Following this discussion, both countries agreed to provide technical support for the reform. We come back to the country where the National Training and Capacity Building Workshop concluded recently, bringing together around 20 facilitators from reading and cultural animation centers and directors of community development centers from the capital and surrounding areas. The closing ceremony held at the Community Development Center in Les Yablés, Mousquetaire, gathered participants, trainees, and numerous guests. The event featured a diverse artistic program prepared and presented by the CLAC and CDC agents, including urban dances, traditional dances, performances of national songs, and a silent theater piece created and performed by participants. Moving on now to the next story. In line with the directives of the Chief of the General Staff of the Djiboutian Armed Forces, General Zakaria Sheikh Ibrahim, a high level mission was dispatched to the southern region of the country. The mission was led by the Director General of International Relations, Colonel Ibrahim Zakaria Sheikh Ibrahim, and the Commander of the Dakhil Inter-Arms Regiment, Lieutenant Colonel Mohammed Mahmoud Asoui, accompanied by a strong military delegation. Its main purpose was to assess the security situation, strengthen military presence, and support local communities. And during its visit, the mission went to Asaila region, specifically the Abekara area, where several tensions had been reported among local communities. And following instructions from the Chief of the General Staff of the Djiboutian Armed Forces, acted as a neutral mediator, facilitating constructive dialogue among a local representative. And under the Army's coordinator, discussions were held in a calm and constructive atmosphere. Local representative outlined the nature of the tensions, family concerns, and recent incidents that had fueled discord. Thanks to this mediation, all parties agreed to maintain calm and strengthen community initiatives aimed at fostering harmony among residents. Through the head of the mission, the Chief of the General Staff conveyed a message strengthening the responsibilities of Asaila traditional and administrative authorities. He reaffirmed that the Djiboutian Army Forces will remain present, impartial, and committed ensuring. And following the talks mediated by the Djiboutian Armed Forces, the elders of the various communities gathered for a series of invocation marked by wisdom and serenity. Let's watch.
wixii dhintay walaalaheena ilaah u naxariis wixii cudurana ilaah u caafi nabaddana ilaah noo adkee nabaddana ilaah noo adkee sharka ilaah naga qaad sharka ilaah naga qaad walaalo wala cuno wala cab ilaah naga yee waad naga yeeshay ilaah noo adkee dawladda isku kayahaysan ilaalinaysan ilaah noo adkee ilaah kuwan difaacaye ee ilaalina ilaah amarkiina loo hoos galayna ilaah noo adkee
خير به يا رب يا رب يا كريم يا رب يا رحيم يا الله رحيم حق الدكتور عند كورة جاي أشوف بقرة جاي يلا كوكر جاي نبيك محضر جاي عند كورة جاي أشوف بقرة جاي يلا كوكر جاي يا رب يا الله يا رب يا الله أول كوي رب آخر كوي رب يا الله يا ربي يلي ندورة يلي رمانت في حي دلدوا فيه أبو في يلي يسكر يا الله يا ربي بلا نقبوري ربو يا الله يا ربي محمد الفاتحة. الله أكبر الله
أكبر. Turning now to the regional news, the African Union Commission welcomes the signing of a peace agreement between the Democratic Republic of Congo and Rwanda in Washington. Mohamed Aden has more to tell us.
African Union Commission welcomes peace agreement signed between the Democratic Republic of Congo and Rwanda in Washington. The African Union Commission issued a statement on December 4, 2025, welcoming the signing of a peace agreement in Washington between the Democratic Republic of Congo and Rwanda, describing it as a significant milestone towards lasting peace, security, and stability in the Great Lakes region. In his message, the chairperson of the Commission, Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, expressed his gratitude for the constructive support provided by the United States and in particular the personal involvement of Donald Trump, as well as by the state of Qatar, commending their diplomatic role in creating the conditions conducive to this agreement. The African Union Commission reaffirmed its commitment to supporting the effective implementation of the agreement and called on all stakeholders, government, armed groups, civil society, and international partners to honor their commitment to ensure genuine peace, reconciliation, and development in the region. The agreement signed in Washington comes as the two countries were engaged in a mediation process supported by international actors with the aim of ending decades of conflict by steering relations towards dialogue, cooperation, and economic integration.
On the international scene now, tension rise after Lebanon and Israel resumed talks as Israeli airstrikes in southern Lebanon caused explosion and damage. Again with Mohamed Adan.
Airstrikes raised tensions after resumptions of direct dialogue between Lebanon and Israel. A large plume of smoke rose over a village in southern Lebanon after airstrikes carried out by the Israeli military, which claims to have targeted positions associated with the armed groups in the area. The operation came shortly after a direct meeting between civilian representatives of the two sides, the first such meeting in decades, as part of efforts to maintain the ceasefire and stabilize the border regions. Despite the momentum of dialogue initiated by the previous day, the airstrikes have raised the fear of further escalations. Residents reported repeated explosions and damage to several homes and surrounding buildings, while rescue teams mobilized to check on the safety of residents. The renewed tension raised questions about the quality of the negotiation process to produce a lasting decrease in violence, while mediators hope that the resumption of direct talks will help consolidate stability and pave the way for a stronger security arrangement in the period ahead.
So that's it for tonight news. Thanks for being with us and have a good time.